joined by analyst Hole Matt Moscardi.
Say pumpkin spice. It's April.
What is an analyst hole? Is that your mouth? Is that what that means?
It's always it's a hole. That's
is it the repository, a database joke? What is that?
It's
on
on
today's Tim Cook flavored vanilla soy milkshake called April 21st, 2026 Biz Nuggets.
Oh.
Yeah. This is where
that's it.
Try to be in a good mood.
All right,
forget all the world's problems. Forget all the corporate problems. Can I just tell you, I've never seen more headlines generated, and maybe we're partly in the AI slop era, so I guess it's hard to compare. I haven't seen more headlines generated in our feed than the Tim Cook resignation. Just in the CEO resigns category, we have so many different dumb categories.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
there were over 300 headlines. He is, by far, so far in our company's history, he is the #1 CEO.
Now, Buffett must have been close.
Not Buffett. Well, because Buffett was retiring for the last 40 years. So
that's
like
true.
That was different.
He is 900, so they all knew it was coming.
There's something about Apple, because even more than Bezos, I'm thinking who else stepped down that was of as big as Cook, as big as Apple. Was it Bezos? Is that the only one? I don't even know.
It must be. There's not many.
He's
that size.
Apple. Apple is the company of the world. I'm officially declaring it.
Iger for the fourth time.
Not 300 head. That's true. That's.
Are you ready for this? He probably has 300 in aggregate.
Yeah, that's true. Our show today is being sponsored by Free Flow Analytics, the only platform measuring board power connections and performance for free.
It is. And no, the data's not fixed yet, but the platform's a little janky right now.
Yeah, it happens.
It is a mapping.
Free.
It's free. It's free. Quit complaining. All
there's only one category that's not really working. All right. I
already failed. Already, we haven't even started.
The syntax here is terrible. I blame the writers. In the biggest leadership transition of 2026, headline of the week, RPM announces appointment of Thomas C. Gentile III to board of directors. I took a dumb Tim Cook joke.
Yeah, that's like a Tim Cook. It's Tim Cook and Jason.
I figured you do a bunch. Everyone else is doing a bunch. Everyone's talking about Tim Cook. Even the Business Insider said our 10 favorite memes so far from Tim Cook's resignation.
I know.
Like, what? Really? Some people care about that? When we told shareholders that keeping Jay Hogue on the board was in the best interest of shareholders, right after shareholders voted him off the board. Suckers. Headline of the week. Reed Hastings reveals his all-time favorite memory at Netflix as he steps down. Can you believe that's his favorite memory?
Isn't that his favorite memory twice?
Because stabbing his shellers in the back?
Hogue was voted out 2 times and stayed both times. It's got to be... Hastings must think that's hysterical.
You want to hear the actual dumb favorite memory? This is
Did he actually have one?
Yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed.
Guess.
It's just going to be a letdown.
Try to guess quickly.
It's going to be like the time they launched their first movie or something.
You're basically there, but it's a bit more like dominating the world. My all-time favorite memory was January 2016 when we enabled nearly the entire planet to enjoy our service.
That's a great memory.
That was Addiction Day #1. He was very excited. That's it.
Liberation from going outside day.
That's what you're excited about? That seems boring. In our proxy analysts give up and openly announce laziness, headline of the week.
Wow.
AI as the new proxy advisor reshaping shareholder activism communications.
Was this a press release where they said we give up?
Yeah, basically. I hear a few tidbits about the use of AI now in proxy analysis. First of all, AI is currently more likely to support an activist case, right, for the change in the board and management, which is what investors already do. They already support.
It's like nobody did any analysis on the actual proxy advisors before doing the AI analysis.
And then how about this? This is from a report from the Harvard Corporate Governance blog. Which sources most often shape AI analysis and proxy fights? They frequently source lower quality but higher volume automated sites for retail financial analysis.
So like a guy writing
slop.
on his slop.
That's what they're saying. So this is it. Yeah. Good going, everybody.
We did it. We
Yeah.
achieved it. AI
I mean, what-
and
I mean,
AI for the win.
look, I'm not here to crap on anyone's business plans, anyone's companies, ISS,
Yes, I
JP
am.
Morgan, these proxy companies that try to use AI. But what really is this the goal of collective humanity to like pass the buck to a machine and not do anything? Like, how is
Look,
that exciting?
A lot of people just think you should just use it because it's the future anyway. And
Where's the excitement in that though? What using your brain is already boring and dumb?
It's boring. It's boring. We've been doing that for 10,000 years. So let's do a different thing where we don't use our brain.
In our master certified life coach and college dropout tells people that data centers are the new corporate coffin, headline of the week. Ugh.
Wow, what is that?
Yeah, a talent CEO says data centers are a massive opportunity for office workers to pivot mid-career.
Massive.
That's Broadstaff CEO Carrie Charles.
Massive.
Imagine. So they call her a talent CEO, and she wants people to segue into working in data centers. Can you imagine a more dystopian, horrible data centers? Are there windows even?
I like the idea of
Are there any
calling-
restaurants around? Aren't they in the middle
calling
of
someone
cornfields?
a talent CEO.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I did notice she's a college dropout, but she does have a she's a master certified life coach.
Is it? I just want to distinguish it from the not talent CEOs as well.
And then, okay. And, speaking of CEOs that actually did graduate, in our 2 MIT grads begged the Supreme Court to let them cause millions of addictions and bankruptcies and maybe even influence geopolitics, headline of the week.
Oh man, I don't like this.
Kalshi's fight over sports betting is hurtling toward the Supreme Court, and the future of gambling is at stake. I mean,
The
another
future of
waste.
gambling?
Yeah,
Come on.
another waste of. This is an actual waste. It's like 2 MIT graduates betting.
Have
This
you-
is betting?
Have you ever heard them talk about what it is they
No,
do?
tell me. I don't want to.
They view themselves as doing like an incredible public service.
like historian. They're like historians or something.
They're basically saying like they are there was one quote I saw where I believe it was Polymarket CEO said that some people in Iran were looking at Polymarket every day to the odds that their town was going to get bombed and
Oh,
whether
and they
they
were,
should
like,
go into
protecting
a bomb
themselves?
shelter,
Oh, it's
right?
great, yeah.
Like that is
World saving.
That's where we're at. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Well, I'm sure those CEOs that said that they're not making it. It's not for profit, right? They don't have any shares. They don't have dual
No,
class
it's definitely
shares.
not dual class. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely
In our Switzerland calls Singapore to congratulate its success in diversity in leadership, headline of the week. That's a positive headline.
Wow, that's really nice.
Gender diversity, tenure length remain governance gaps among Singapore company chairpersons. So this article is all about how in Singapore, only 3 out of 30 companies have women that chair their companies. But we
3
covered
out of 30?
3 out of 30. But we covered one report out of Switzerland last month. They only have 1 in 30.
3 out of 30 is a lot.
Right, so they've already hurdled past Switzerland. Congratulations,
Wow,
Singapore.
wow. Well done, Singapore. Wow. Well done. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? All right, I'm going to do a few.
Good.
In our China part
Oh,
1,
no, I know
headline
where
of
this
the
is
week.
going. Yeah.
Ford CEO said he chose to test drive a Xiaomi and not a Tesla because the latter doesn't have an updated vehicle. Headline: this is Ford CEO Jim Farley.
This guy's confusing me. Go ahead.
He went out, and in 2024, this is what he said, quote, "We flew one from Shanghai to Chicago, and I've been driving it for 6 months now, and I don't want to give it up."
Wait.
He just admitted. So he said,
and this is the same guy who was like telling the American government we cannot let the Chinese sell their cars here.
well, for some reason,
which I don't understand.
All of the headlines about this are how he didn't get a Tesla. He got a Chinese EV.
Because the Tesla's old and janky compared to the Chinese car.
And he basically was like, because they didn't have an updated model. That's why we didn't get a Tesla. We wanted something more updated. And then he doesn't want to give it up. And then leading to the next headline, in our China Part 2 headline of the week, Ford CEO draws line in the sand, keep Chinese EVs out of the U.S., should not let them into our country. That was what he said.
How? Okay, I don't want to get too deep into any economic policy or anything, but why is that okay?
What is going on?
What is it about China? What is it about their like skin color that's so horrible? What do we hate about China? I don't understand.
It's just that it's better. Like, look, this is what he said. Allowing the Chinese companies in would be, quote, devastating to American manufacturing, which Farley calls, quote, the heart and soul of the country. Basically, he said, they're better at it. Their cars are great. I didn't want to give mine up. Leave them out so no one else can have them.
He doesn't have a bunch of engineers at Ford that can't, like, take that thing apart and, like, build one that's similar?
He doesn't have the like, aren't these all the free market capitalists? Aren't these
Everybody.
the guys who like walk around and they're like, free market capitalism is the greatest thing on earth?
Shareholders, vote out the entire board and get that guy fired. This is the wrong guy to lead Ford. This is the absolute wrong
he's
guy.
Literally admitting we don't know what we're doing. They're better at it.
Yeah.
We're actually going to steal from them, and in order to win, we actually have to keep them out of our country.
Yeah, actually, oh wait, you can't do anything about it because the Ford family controls that company, and yeah, there you go. That's sad to me. That's sad.
I don't find it sad. I find it infuriating. I find it infuriating because these are the same assholes who, like, are telling us that, like, you know, the AI revolution is going to free us, and free market capitalism is the greatest thing in the world, and like, and everyone's a winner under this system. And meanwhile, as soon as they face competition, as soon as someone's better than them, it's do not let them in. You subsidize us. We need the government to regulate. The only time that you've ever heard any tech CEO, any car CEO ask for regulation is with China.
China,
it's the only place.
Well, I'm waiting for the manufacturers of like sun lamps to complain about the sun being better than their sun lamp. We got to keep it out.
We
got
to keep the sun out. Everybody get some shade. All right. In our when we say endless, you say temporary headline of the week.
Yeah.
Red Lobster's endless shrimp is back.
Ugh.
With a few strings attached.
Do you know what those strings are?
Yes, unlike the promotions.
The poop shoot.
Here's a quote.
Yeah.
Unlike the promotion's previous iteration, this time Red Lobster plans to offer endless shrimp on a limited time basis at participating locations.
What does that mean? Like from 4:30 to 4:45?
But the chain won't serve it to go for delivery or on holidays.
Okay, I think we knew that they weren't going to do it to go. I mean, an infinite amount of shrimp would somehow like come to your house? How would that work?
So apparently
an unmeasurable amount of
the last iteration.
Yeah,
it wasn't the to go. The delivery makes no sense, but people would show up with to go containers they brought from home.
You mean trash
and pile
cans.
shrimp into it and bring it home like in endless amounts.
Stop.
And that helped bankrupt the company.
They let them do that?
This is it's pretty dumb.
That's like having a restaurant that's a buffet and letting people take the whole buffet home.
But like the only reason why they're like the tray, like the cart.
Just the whole hook it up to a pickup truck and just drag it out.
The only reason why they're bringing it back is because they literally, like Cracker Barrel, can't get a single person to go to Red Lobster. And the only way they could think to do it was to charge $25 for endless shrimp in the store.
Imagine, again, this is another company like Ford. Imagine you have a company that sells one of the most sought-after foods on the planet, lobster. It is widely considered, got to be the top 10 standard of like most expensive, most luxurious, most wonderful. I mean, They rip off tourists here in my state. I mean, in the summer, sometimes a lobster roll costs like $50, and people
Yeah, no
still
joke.
buy it.
Yeah,
They
a
still
lot.
buy it.
Yeah.
And yet, this company, Red Lobster, can't figure anything out. They don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Well, the fact is, who can afford lobster?
Congratulations.
Also, how much shrimp do you need to eat?
I don't
Like,
know.
when is
When is
endless
enough?
shrimp? You have
Endless
like
shrimp.
5 shrimp and you should stop. You're gonna
Yeah.
like give yourself an allergy.
What else you got?
In our, when we say standard, you say what standards? Headline of the week: Standard Dental Labs Inc. appoints
Yeah.
Brandon Cummings to the board of directors.
Ooh, good. You're doing a board of directors joke. I like this.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me give you a little background.
Yeah, I like
this.
this.
Is not a publicly
Go.
traded company, but I thought this was hysterical. Brendan Cummings, who's joining the board, he's a finance and trading, market trading dude. He joins a board that includes founder James Brooks, whose prior work included, quote, financial leadership. There's no companies listed. It just said financial leadership.
Okay.
And Claire Ambrosio, who was the lawyer to James Brooks.
Oh,
Those
nice.
are the board members.
They also married?
No, it does not say that. There, it just says that she was his lawyer.
Okay.
The management team includes Kristen Triplett, an accountant, David Acosta, who does finance acquisitions, and Tiffany Bolton, who does communications. Not listed at Standard Dental Labs, a
Yeah.
standard dentist.
Yeah,
There's
but, you
no
know,
dentist.
that's so,
There's
like,
no medical professional.
2014. I mean, what are we
It's
doing?
like I thought it was hysterical because I click on all of these links. That's like somebody gets added to a board, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's interesting. Who is that? And Standard Dental Labs could not find a dentist to put on its
Yeah,
board.
we tag so many articles daily, directors joining boards, and we only tag ones where they actually name the person in the headline. And sometimes I wish we could like follow through in every one of them because half of them do seem completely dumb.
They're just so crazy
Yeah.
dumb. It's just dumb. All right, last one for me, and then I'll go back to you.
All right.
In our, when we say your nurse, you say, you mean Gary, the gig nurse who also works as a DoorDash delivery guy? Headline of the week: Uber for nurses, gig work apps lobby to deregulate healthcare,
Oh my
report
God.
finds.
So
They're trying to make
the
nurses
tech bros, the dual
app
class tech
gigs.
bros are now weighing in on the American healthcare system.
Because it works so well for cabs and
Delivery.
hotels and
Yeah.
delivery.
Oh, yeah,
We're now
f-
trying it with nurses. What the fuck?
An $8 burger is like $17 if you get it through the app. It's beautiful.
It's wonderful. Not to mention that you really want your nurse while you're sitting there, like getting an IV post surgery, to be some guy who opened his app that day and said, "I could use some nursing work right now,"
Ugh.
and showed up. That's what you want. You don't want like the regular who knows the system. It's nuts. All right, you take it away. Take it away from me.
I don't like that last one. In our exclusive, horses are horses. Headline of the week. Exclusive. Exclusive. Musk and insiders to retain voting control of SpaceX. after IPO.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's an exclusive?
Yeah, that's an exclusive.
Who published that exclusive?
Yeah.
Yahoo?
Shocking. In our Hey Ma, another headline where big tech screws up but won't be held liable, because of free speech or China or trans people or DEI or whatever. Tell Dad, headline of the week.
Your Boston accent's getting worse.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm self-conscious about it while I'm doing it. Barclays CEO flags Anthropic's Mythos AI as potential catalyst for cyber attacks on global banks, calling it a serious issue. But, whatever. I mean, you told me last week that there's a politician in Illinois basically saying no matter what they do, who gives a crap. So, yeah, let them put out products that are catalysts for cyber attacks on banks.
Mass deaths is the thing
Yeah.
that they won't be held liable for.
Yeah,
so
whatevs.
It's close enough.
In our, you gotta stick with this one for. In our blah blah, founder, blah blah, chairman, blah blah, nepo babies, blah blah blah, activist investor, blah blah blah. How did this board even exist in the first place? Blah blah blah, founder. Let's get rid of the only woman, blah blah blah, founder, blah blah blah. Investors headline of the week.
I'm impressed you could read that.
That's what I thought when I read this headline, because it was just so much to me. It was just so over the top. Activist investor Value Base has joined forces with the late founder's children in efforts to oust the chairman and most of the board, including the late founder's second wife. What? I mean, what is happening?
I don't know. That's a lot of stuff.
Can that company just go away? Do we need this company? I mean, I was shocked. Founder's children second. I was like, what is this? What's happening here?
I like it. I like that the headline actually doesn't have the name of the company in it.
Well, it's
Radcom.
It's Radcom. They have a board of 7, and they only have one woman. And the good news is that the activist investor is targeting that woman.
The one woman.
That one.
Get that one out. Get her out.
Makes sense. In our the meritocracy is for wussies headline of the week. Elon Musk bans resumes and cover letters and hiring for his chip team. There are 3 bullet points he's looking for instead. I don't really care what they are, but there you go. That says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. We don't want we don't want to know like if you're qualified for this job.
So what was Doge all about? More feelings, like man feelings, boy feelings, just like
isn't that
gut,
everything?
gut
that
instincts.
Yes, it's man feelings.
Gut
That's
instincts.
a good way to put it. The meritocracy is man feelings. That's all it is, isn't it?
It is. The meritocracy is for pussies headline of the week.
Oh,
See
wow.
that? They rhyme. They rhyme.
Yeah.
Wussies and pussies. See that? The FBI is easing hiring requirements. The FBI is
Yeah, I know.
easing hiring requirements and turning to social media to attract applicants to rebuild workforce depleted by firings and resignations. So there you go.
Between
that's a great,
the nurses
that's a great
and the
industry
FBI, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We're doing man feelings. We want
man
people,
feelings.
We want people that we feel comfortable telling like racist, sexist jokes around. I guess like that's what we want.
Those are the 3 bullets to hiring now.
And then finally, before I hand off to Matt, the analyst hole, in our stick with this one too. Here we go. In our about 1,000 activist investors tried to storm a veterinary diagnostics company protected by a classified board, a dual-class stock structure, and an independent lead director that has been on the board for 24 years. Headline of the week.
Tell me this is real.
That sounds like a tough battle there, right? Here's the headline. About 1,000 animal welfare activists tried to storm a beagle research facility protected by a manure-filled trench, hay bales, and a barbed wire fence.
Oh, I see what you did there.
See what I did there? I had a little fun.
Governance
I had a
as
little nerdy
mature.
governance. That one would have
manure-
killed at CII. Come on, admit it.
Oh,
I'm saving that one. If they invite us back, I'm
there
saving
and
only there.
All
right, what
right,
do you
I'm
got?
going to
Come
wrap
on.
this up. I got to do this. We got to
get-
do this.
Tim Cook.
After careful consideration, after considering Craig, Johnny, Kevin, Eddie, Steve, Mike, Phil, and Adrian, we settled on John to succeed Tim, who succeeded Steve. Headline of the week.
Yeah.
Apple names John Turnus as CEO to replace Tim Cook.
Well, that headline considered Steve. You wouldn't go Steve, Tim, Steve, would you? That's a sandwich
No, well,
that
that's
nobody
probably
needs.
why Steve was
Yeah.
out, right? Like
Nobody
having-
likes a Tim sandwich.
You know what? The thing I noticed actually looking through Apple's leadership was there were like 3 women, and they were obviously thrown out immediately because it's head of, name it,
Head
chief.
of human resources,
Yep.
legal,
Yep.
marketing.
Yep.
Oh, really? Is that really it?
Yeah, it's like communications.
So
and
that's
stuff,
all
like government affairs.
That's all
and
women are good
communications.
for now. I'm actually amazed. I mean, look, we know that women are getting by far the most law degrees now, but I'm actually like surprised that companies listen to that and actually hire women to do. Is it because they're seeing lawyers as like annoying pests?
Yeah,
like,
annoying, shrill, like compliance.
Like it's kind of like a role for a mom. It's like
A mom,
nagging
yeah,
you to
it's
stay in
mom.
compliance, nagging you to do
It's
the right
mom.
thing.
And then like all of like the fun jobs, like
Yeah.
innovation and research
Well,
and development. They go
we-
to like man feeling dudes.
We had a fascinating conversation off the air, and I'm not gonna. Of course, I am not gonna suggest who we were talking to. At a chief, head of a general counsel at a major, like a Fortune 500 sized company, who she told us basically the same thing, that she would constantly tell them what they were doing was borderline illegal, definitely unethical, horrible for everything, and yet they were just like, shut up, leave us alone.
Yeah, that's what they told her.
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Now you're fired.
Yeah.
Let's sticking with this for a second. In
Go ahead.
our what Jeff Garcia taught us about succeeding Steve Young headline of the
Wow,
week.
You went back for that one.
I know.
actually understand that. I understand.
You
that.
understand that. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody else
Nobody,
will.
nobody.
What Tim Cook taught us about succeeding a legend. There were
Oh.
so many headlines about what a legend Tim Cook is succeeding a
Wait,
legend.
who's the
and
legend? I thought the legend was Jobs. Tim Cook's
Jobs
not a
is
legend,
the
is he?
legend, but now Tim Cook is a legend
Oh,
for
so you're saying
succeeding
that
him.
because Steve Young was a quarterback for the 49ers. Is Steve Young also in the Hall of Fame? Is that what you're
Steve
saying?
Young's in the Hall of Fame. Jeff Garcia is not. Jeff Garcia is a
Okay.
game manager. He's like
Right.
so if
So
you don't
Tim
know the
Cook,
reference here,
Tim Cook is now a legend, is what you're saying,
I'm saying
because
somehow
he steered the ship for a decade.
game manager Tim Cook
Right.
is now looked at like a Super Bowl winning legend for
So-
not sinking the ship.
So Steve,
That's right.
So Steve Jobs handed him the iPhone, the iPad, the iMac.
The iPhone, iPad, iMac,
and
the
all-
R&D for the
all
Apple
Tim
Watch,
had to do, right? All
and
Tim
for
had
the
to do was sell
earphones.
it. He just had to sell it, and
So-
he's a legend.
Oh, what's funny is every one of these stories just talk about Tim Cook as supply chain logistics wizard.
Okay. Well,
They-
he was
they've-
COO. He was COO.
They've ignored the part where everything that was a new idea failed miserably under Tim Cook. They only focused on the fact that it's a $4 trillion company, that it didn't collapse when Steve Jobs died, and that Tim Cook is a supply chain logistics
Well,
wizard.
look, the Apple is one of the original like tech companies as addiction machine. What Steve Jobs did was an incredible job addicting people to his brand. I mean, but that's all him. I mean, but they will refuse to buy anything else other than Apple.
Steve Jobs' great innovation was myth. Was
well,
like
marketing,
not-
marketing.
Well, it was
part of it.
creating the myth of innovation
That's
in Silicon
strong.
Valley, right?
Yeah, remember
Like,
people used to line up for the new iPhone?
they used to sleep outside.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Think
like
about that,
How
yeah.
fucking nuts is that?
Yeah, for like a bloated calculator.
And then last one on this.
Yeah.
In our when we say exit, you say executive chair headline of the
Right.
week.
Yeah. When are we going to reckon with that idea? Go ahead.
Tim Cook's exit is part of a CEO reckoning sweeping corporate America. No, it's
Wait.
not a reckoning.
Did you look in that article? That is from Fortune. What is the reckoning? Is it about AI? What are they talking about?
It's some combination of AI and the fact that all of these old CEOs like Iger and Buffett are stepping down, and
Well,
and
it's going to
there's
happen
this-
eventually.
There's just a lot of CEO transitions this year, so they're calling the transitions a reckoning.
A reckoning.
But the fact is, all of those CEOs like that are reckoning are either already boomerang CEOs, like second, third time
Yeah.
around, 90 years old,
Yeah.
or executive chairs. They're
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
Well,
no
look,
one's going anywhere.
CNBC reported that one of the reasons why a lot of big CEOs are leaving is because yes, they're old, and B, they don't understand AI essentially. And yeah, I think we made the comparison that AI is a bit like COVID. It's like, why
Yeah,
would you
step
want to
out.
bother?
Step
right?
out of the way
You're
now.
already a
What-
billionaire.
Yeah.
Tim Cook's leaving with so many shares. He's a director at Nike where he has another ton of shares. Why should he bother with AI? Like, it just
Don't.
sounds like a nightmare.
Don't bother.
He can just sit there and he can just guide the agenda of the board that provides oversight for the next CEO.
I'm just tired of us calling it an exit, and I'm tired of us framing these CEO transitions as some sort of mass reckoning for a corporate.
Well,
like, no, it's not. They're all
it's-
here.
It is extremely clear what the modern executive chair is now that we're at 2026. Tim Cook, ad nauseum, there's a lot of them, as you're pointing out, is there. He's going to sit there for 2 years. He's going to make sure that John Turnus is doing a good job. If he doesn't, he's going to boomerang back into CEO. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
He's
And not only-
just in
it's-
case. It's just in case.
It's literally the laziest break glass if the CEO succession plan didn't work.
Yeah, because
succession planning.
Because otherwise, if they trusted Turnus, he would just leave, right? But they don't, but that's it's too risky. He wants to be able to boomerang back.
I mean, not to mention the fact that one of the board members on this board, Livingston, Arthur I think-
Livingston.
Yeah, he has been there since Jobs was basically brought back, since like 1997 or 2000 or something. He is the longest running member of Apple and a leadership position at all. And no one knows who that guy is.
I gotta say, it is a sort of an older board. You're right. It's like it's like kind of an average of 70 plus. I'm surprised by that.
This is also
actually.
the board that like ignored its own retirement policy for both Ron Sugar
and Levinson.
last year.
Yeah. Arthur
and
Levinson. Is that what you're
Arthur
talking about?
Levinson this year.
Yeah.
Levinson, that's his name. These are incredibly long tenured directors. Like, how much fucking stability is required? These are people who should be able to hire a CEO.
Well, it's funny. You might be like very simply landing on the reason why Apple has not figured out how to develop AI, why Siri sucks. Although it actually might benefit them in the long run because they're not going to spend like $15 trillion developing something when they can just partner with one of the AI companies. But that's probably the reason. I mean, they got a bunch of old dudes.
Look, you
hanging
can
around.
listen to our show, Proxy Countdown, from almost 2 years ago now, where my advice was to, like, this was not an innovative board.
Right.
I basically
It's
said
clearly not. Clearly.
it's Apple has done great. It's hard to say vote against people, except if you're thinking 7 years ahead instead of 7 years behind. In which case, you should vote against everyone. They're
Well-
old, they're long tenured.
Well, you might be
there's
wrong.
No innovators.
Well, you might be wrong. There might be an innovator named Monica Lozano. She's also on the boards of Target and Bank of America. That's pretty innovative.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there it is. All right, that's it for Tim Cook. I
Cook.
don't
What
wanna
else?
talk
Come
about
on,
Tim
let's
Cook.
get out of
Here's
here.
another one. In our, though shareholders voted against mustard,
Oh, I like
the
mustard.
board thinks the vote results reflect the general view that hot dogs are not delicious. And so, the board has rejected the resignation of mustard. Headline
good.
of the week.
Well, you got to keep mustard around. Yeah, because the hot dog is kind of gross.
A.O. Smith board rejects director resignation after shareholder vote.
A.O. Smith, is it? I thought it was a controlled company. Is it
It is
not?
a dual class company.
Okay.
And they have the majority of the board is picked by the dual class shares. And then there's a public part of the board that
Someone
is not.
lost the public part.
So they lost in the public part.
And they still rejected it?
Kadri, Ilham Kadri.
Oh my
and this
God.
is what they said in the 8K.
Jesus, yeah.
Following the tender of the offer of resignation by Dr. Kadri, yada, 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 based among other things, the skills and qualifications of Dr. Kadri to be a member of the board, her past contribution to the board, and belief that the withheld votes for Dr. Kadri, who is a highly valued member of the committee, were primarily reflective of stockholder views regarding the company's dual-class capital structure, and not because of any specific objection to Dr. Kadri. The committee recommended that the board reject the offer of resignation.
Was she the only director up for vote?
There were 4 up for vote,
And
she
yeah.
was the only one who lost.
Were the others? Did they have high votes withheld?
One did, and the other 2 did not.
So how do they know? Why were they singling her out? It's not the fact that she sits on 4 public boards? Does that have
nope.
something to do with it?
Had nothing to do with it. This
Okay.
had to do. They think it had to do with the fact that it's a dual class
That's it.
company,
That's
and
it.
that was it. Nothing to do with her. It's just a dual class company, and so because of that, we are rejecting her resignation.
Look, my hat's off to all these directors. 'Cause, look, granted, I'm a liberal snowflake from Oberlin, but if shareholders voted me out, I would like leave. I would be pissed.
I would be
I'd be like,
embarrassed
F you.
to go
I'd be
again.
embarrassed, but I'd also be like, F you. Like, I'd just be like, okay, I'm gone. Like, but they always come back. I don't know how they always come back.
Too much.
Maybe
money,
because the
that's
investors aren't part of the boardroom. I guess they don't have to see them. And now all the annual meetings are virtual, so you literally don't have to see
You
these
don't know
people.
what they look like. You
Yeah.
don't have to see them. No one talks to you. Let's wrap it here.
Go.
We're going to go ridiculous. In our, if chief legal officer is the calf of
Calf.
companies.
Like calf, like baby cow, or like
No, like your
foot,
leg,
your
like
leg,
your calf.
yeah.
Our chief human resource officers, the groin. Headline
Okay,
of the
wait.
week.
Chief legal officer, calf, chief human resource, the groin. Got it.
So this is a headline from the New York Times. CEOs are the heads of companies. Should they also be the face?
Yeah,
I just
I'm glad you're pointing this one out.
so dumb.
So they're making a distinction between head and face. Isn't a face
Yeah.
part of the head?
This is what I mean. Like
I mean-
what? Not only is the headline dumb,
And
it's
who
also-
is the face at
it's
New York
also-
Times? Who else is the face of these
who's
companies?
left?
If it's
Yeah,
not the
who's
CEOs,
left? If
Who
it's
do-
not the CEO,
So I just said at the beginning of the show that there were over 300 headlines for Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. So who is the face of Apple if it's not Tim Cook?
I was going to guess Monica Lozano, but
Yeah,
I'm wrong, clearly.
we're the only people, and maybe also the CII audience. We're the only ones who can name anyone else at Apple.
on a board. Come on.
Yeah.
What a dumb headline this is. Should they also be the face? When weren't
Yes.
they?
How about
They've
yes?
always been the face.
You know, before we sign off, I saw this. There was a basketball player. I don't remember who it was. So when basketball players, they give press conferences right after the game, which is our dream for all the boards and all the executives.
Yeah, I'd love that.
And they give them the stat sheets of how they did during the game, and the players typically look at it. And one guy, like yesterday, he's like, "Oh shit, I really sucked like tonight." Like, and I was like, "God, I wish. Like, why can't we hand out like a stat sheet to Andy Jassy and then grill him about something like?"
They
Right?
they did hand a stat sheet to the director at A.O. Smith, who then
Right,
said,
they were like, eh.
"Yeah, we're actually going to re-up. We're going to
Well,
like,
that director did offer to resign though,
because
but that's
the,
all.
because
it's
the,
all
the
play.
board
You have
they have
to.
a board
You have to
policy
tender
that
your
you have
resignation.
to
Yeah.
tender your
But
resignation.
it's all play. I'd like to see that fake resignation. Is it like? Does it say like "fuck you" and Cran or something? Like, what is it? What does it really say?
I don't know.
All right.
That's it. That's Hazelnut Rawless. I'm your analyst, Matt Mascardi. We are Free Float. Come back on Friday. We're going to do a double header. We're doing a Friday show.
Our
and a
favorite.
Proxy
We
Countdown.
love doing two shows.
Yeah,
back to
I'm
back.
not
So
exhausted
easy.
after that at all. And we got Mike and Ann on Shareholder Primacy
yeah.
coming out tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.